So besties, if you're watching this video and you're wondering why your boyfriend, your man is treating you like trash, then this video has all the answers. This video exposes all the reasons why men will choose a toxic, narcissistic, mean, selfish woman over a good woman. This video also exposes all the reasons why a guy will treat a good woman like trash and treat a toxic, mean, selfish woman like a queen.
Your good is not good enough for somebody who doesn't view you as good enough. So what happens is, right, you literally get these women who are like, well, I was perfect to him. I was everything to him. I cooked, I cleaned, I submitted. I gave him head when he wanted. I gave him coochie when he wanted. I was a great stepmother to his children. And even though you did the best that you could do, your best is never going to be good enough to somebody that does not view you the way that you view what you're doing, right? And so that's how a man could be with you for 5 years and make you a glorified girlfriend, or I like to call them glorified spot holders, leave you, then go get married in 6 months because he never viewed you as a wife. And this is why I tell people you should never get in the habit of trying to get somebody to view you the way that you want them to view you. They have to come into it viewing you as a wife. They have to come into it viewing you as a partner. They have to come into it viewing you as a companion, because if they don't, then there is absolutely nothing that you can do. So it's not even a thing of better or worse when it comes to them dealing with other females. It's just that he views her differently. She could actually fall short. She could actually not measure up to you in any capacity, but it's something about her that makes him view her that way. And so even if you come well put together, even if you come completely put together, your good is not good enough for somebody who doesn't view you as good enough.
Men will leave their nice wife for the selfish, self-obsessed woman. My darling, let me teach you this mentality men have in relationships and change your life in under 60 seconds. Men will get bored of their nice wife who does everything for him, cooking, cleaning, laundry, taking care of the kids, everything, and go for the self-obsessed woman because he thinks the everyday wife is boring. He overlooks and takes granted the wife who does everything for him. And now the self-obsessed woman becomes a challenge for him because she is making him chase him left, right, and center. And he likes the chase. He likes to conquer what other men want. In his vision, his wife is not wanted by anybody else. So she is nobody in his eyes. That is the reason a lot and most married men cheat on their women with other women who are completely different to their wives. And this is something that you can't do anything about. It's a man's mentality. This message is for the wives and the partners, long-term partners who are doing everything for the husbands and partners, breathing for him. Stop doing that. Do things you want to do. Make him feel loved, but focus on your damn grass. Make sure you look your best. You do the things you love. You follow your passions and hobbies. Because guess what? Living your entire life for a man doesn't guarantee he will be loyal and faithful to you. But living the life with yourself in your full potential while being with a man and respecting and loving him just enough as much as he does is what's going to give you happiness, because you're not going to bury your dreams underneath your feet while he lives all his dreams and all you do is take care of his life. My darling, many women, many generations, many cultures have gone through this. Don't make this mistake. Put love into the relationship, put effort into the relationship, but just as much as he does. If he doesn't appreciate it, you don't need to do it anymore, because guess what? He will try looking for the other girl anyways, even if you keep doing it, because that is that man's mentality.
Why do men seem to treat women good that treat them like shit? And why do they treat the woman who treats them good like shit? So let's get in, because one of my best friends, her ex-fiance left her for one of her friends, and the girl cheats on him. She doesn't have any money. She lives off his money. She blatantly uses him, and he's all for it. And mind you, he does things with her, pays all her bills. This is stuff he never did with my ex-best friend, right? My ex-best friend, she gets her own money. She would actually give him money. She would treat him like a king, never cheated, loyal. You know, when he said jump, she said how high. She was ready to marry that man. And the things he does for this girl that he just met, this girl that cheats on him, this girl that don't give him no money, this girl that can't make a living on her own, she's a bum. He pays all her bills. He does more for this girl he just met than he does for my ex-best. And I also had an ex who has a narcissistic ass baby mother, who he even stayed with her after she got pregnant by another man's baby twice. He stayed with her. So let me break it down for you. A lot of men don't like themselves, okay? I don't know how many times I gotta say this, but most men do not love themselves. Most of them deep down inside do not even like themselves, and a lot of them hate themselves, okay? They have low self-esteem. In their mind, they think they're a piece of shit. So some of it is from mommy issues, because their mother might have treated them bad, or they had a narcissistic mother. So when they get with a narcissistic woman, it reminds them of their mom. So they wait on her hand and foot, or, you know, they're like a puppy for her. Meanwhile, deep down inside, he feels that's how he's supposed to be treated. Not only does the narcissistic woman remind him of his narcissistic mother and causes him to want to serve her and take care of her like she's his narcissistic mother, but he also doesn't think he's a good guy. Deep down inside, he knows he ain't shit. So he feels the way he's being treated is how he deserves to be treated. So he'll stay with the woman that treats him like shit because he's a cheater, because he's a narcissist, because he ain't shit. So he's more comfortable being with someone who treats him accordingly, because deep down inside he feels that's how he's supposed to be treated. He feels that woman is smart. He respects her for treating him like shit. Now, I'm not saying go around treating people like shit. This is not what I'm saying. This is only for narcissistic men, which is 75% to 80% of men, okay? Yes, most men are narcissists, but there are exceptions. A man who is not a narcissist is not going to like you treating him like shit. So this is not gonna, don't just go start treating people like shit now, but I'm telling you some real shit. This is some real tea. So that man, that narcissistic man who has low self-worth, or the psychopathic man, whoever, the one who knows deep down inside, I'm not a good person. When a woman treats him good, he looks at her like she's a fucking idiot. When he knows deep down inside, he doesn't deserve that treatment. He deserves to be treated as the dirty dog he is. See, he respects the woman that treats him like shit, because he's like, oh, she's smart. She knows I don't really deserve to be loved. Because a lot of these men don't feel they deserve to be loved. Trust me. It shows in their behavior, does it not? So because this man who doesn't feel like he deserves to be loved because he's a piece of shit, he's looking at the girl that treats him like shit with respect and admiration. Not just because he had a narcissistic mother, but it's also because he looks at that girl like, oh, she's smart. She's not dumb like these other girls who run around doing anything for me knowing I don't fucking deserve it. So when you overplay your part, when you're doing the most for him, treating him so good, giving him money, he looks at you like an idiot. And he's going to treat you as such. He's not going to respect you because he knows he does not deserve that good treatment. So this is why in a lot of cases, you'll see a man treat a woman who treats him like garbage, a narcissistic woman, better than the woman who was there for him, building him up, treating him really good. This is why in a lot of cases, a man will be in a relationship with a woman, she'll build him up, and as soon as he gets to that level he wants to be on, he'll leave for some girl that uses him for his money and treats him like garbage, and he's okay with it. People are like, why? She ain't shit. Why did he leave me for her? Or what does he see in her? He sees himself in her. He sees himself in her. And narcissists, even though they hate themselves, they only care about themselves. And because they're narcissistic, they're going to love the traits of themselves in others. They're going to be attracted to that, whether they like it or not. A lot of men subconsciously and consciously know that they're not good enough for you. And they think you're stupid for even giving them a chance. And they're over there thinking, wow, this girl who's out of my league and clearly too good for me, what else will she fall for? Let me bring down her self-esteem. Let me make her insecure. Let me fuck with her head. Because clearly she ain't too bright to be sitting next to me. They look at you like you don't have any self-worth. Like you don't have any common sense. Like you don't have any respect for yourself. And they're going to take advantage of that. Because who the fuck wouldn't, right? A lot of people will take advantage of that. It's like being bait, shark bait, walking right into the shark's mouth. You know, you're making it easy for the shark. You're like a guppy swimming towards a shark's mouth. That's what you're doing. The man will see you as naive He'll see you as a fool, and he's not going to think you're very smart, and he's not going to think you have much respect for yourself, so he's going to disrespect you. And he's going to play you for the fool that he thinks you are. Now, that's not to say all men like women who treat them like shit and who are mean to them, but a lot of them do. A lot of them like women who put them in their fucking place. A lot of them like women who remind them of their mother. A lot of them like women who see them for who they really are and treat them the way they deserve to be treated. They see those women as smart, they respect those women, and those are the women they end up being in a transactional relationship with, because those are narcissistic women who are just using him for his money as well. So it works out for them. A lot of those narcissistic men get into relationships with narcissistic women, and it just ends up working out for them. They both cheat on each other, they both treat each other like shit, and they both live miserably ever after, right? So to you, it looks like, oh, he's treating her better. I mean, he's still cheating. He's still doing the same things he was doing with you. But it's like, why is he paying all her bills? Why is he okay with her cheating? Why is he... Because he know he ain't shit and you were too good for him to begin with. He knew he didn't deserve you. The whole relationship, he was doing everything he could to get you to break up with him because he knows he didn't deserve you and you were out of his league and you were too good for him and he was not willing to bring himself up to your level. So he had to try to tear you down. But the whole time he knew it was never gonna work and he was just enjoying the ride as long as you were willing to be dumb.
So besties, the first reason why this guy is treating you like trash is because you're not his type. And because you're not his type, you're not a priority to him. If you were a priority to this guy would treat you like a queen. You wouldn't have to ask for princess treatment. He take mixed signals for a no. If one minute he's good to you, the next minute he's just another person. It is because this guy has conflicting feelings when it comes to you. The way a man treats you says a lot about how he feels towards you. If this guy is treating you like trash, it's because he sees you like trash, and it has nothing to do with your value. It has nothing to do with your worth. It is just the way he sees you. It doesn't matter if you're a good woman. If this guy doesn't see your value, if he doesn't see your worth, he is going to treat you like trash. It doesn't matter if you're the most beautiful woman he has ever come across. This has nothing to do with you. You're just not his type. That is why he's giving you the bare minimum. That is why you are at the bottom of the barrel. When he meets his dream girl, he's going to treat her like a queen. He's going to treat her like a princess because this is the woman he really wants to be with. This is the woman he's attracted to. This is the woman who is his type. The second reason why this guy treats you like trash is because you are the placeholder. You're the woman who he is with while he's looking for his dream woman. A lot of men are in relationships with women they don't love. They are just with these women because these women are available. And especially when the guy is broke, every woman who is willing to stay with him in his broke state is going to settle with that woman, not even because he likes that woman. There are a lot of times where when a guy is broke, he settles with whoever is available to settle down with him in his broke state. But he is still looking for his dream woman. And when he meets his dream woman, he's going to hurt you. He's going to leave you for her. It doesn't matter if you're a good woman, if you're a good girl. It doesn't matter if you're a wife material. If you're not his dream woman and if you're not the type of woman he wants to be with, if this guy is using you as a placeholder, he is going to leave you when he sees a girl he really wants to be with. That's why a lot of times we hear a guy dates a woman for 5-10 years. He doesn't put a ring on it. But the minute he sees a girl who he doesn't even know so well, within 2-3 months he's getting married to another girl after abandoning you. It's because this other girl is the woman he really wants to be with. You were the placeholder. That's another reason why he treats you like trash, and that's why he will leave you, who is a good woman, and go after a selfish woman, because that selfish woman is what he really wants. And this guy may know this girl is selfish. He may know she's mean, she's selfish, she's narcissistic, but he will still choose her because a lot of men, that's the type of woman they want to be with. That's the type of woman they like. They will say they want a good woman, but they'll always end up picking a toxic, selfish woman over a good woman. Do you know one of the main reasons why a guy will pick a toxic, mean woman over a good girl? It is because most women who are mean and self-centered, they are projecting the very same character traits men have. Most men are self-centered. Most men are selfish. Most men put themselves first. Most men don't care about any other person's feelings but theirs. And most of these women who are mean, selfish, and narcissistic, They have the same character traits that most men have. So they are attracted to a woman who is just like them. A woman who is mean, who is selfish, self-centered, who puts herself first, who is self-absorbed, who doesn't live her life around a man, who is focused on the things that makes her happy, who puts herself first. Because guess what? Most men put themselves first. But you, the good girl who allows her whole life to revolve around a man, a guy will pick a selfish woman over you because he finds you to be boring. There is no excitement, there's no thrill. You don't bring any excitement to the table. Men love toxic. So a mean, selfish, narcissistic woman will bring all of these things: the toxicity, the craziness, the meanness, the self-centeredness. She calls him out on his shit. But you, the good girl, you don't do that. You're scared, you're desperate, you're begging for a relationship, you're begging for love. Your whole life revolves around this guy. This guy will pick a selfish woman over you. That is why a guy will have a good woman who is perfect in every aspect, and he will still go into the streets and cheat on her with a hoe. Because a hoe brings drama, a hoe brings toxicity, a hoe makes him excited. She keeps him on his toes. But you, a good girl, you're doing everything to make this guy happy. You're doing too much, and he considers you to be boring. You are not a chase to him because you don't make this guy chase you. You make things so easy for him, so there is no chase. And men are natural hunters. They want to have the ability to say they have gotten you, they have conquered you. They want to chase you because that is what they enjoy. They enjoy the chase. So if you are not making this guy chase you and you're giving it to him freely, making it so easy for him, he's going to get bored and go after a girl who's going to be a challenge. Men want a challenge. This is the reason why they go after mean, selfish, toxic, narcissistic women, because these women don't make it easy for them. These women are a challenge, and that is why this guy will choose her over you, even though you know how to cook well, even though you do everything possible to make him happy, even though you're doing too much to bring him peace. Even if this guy gets married to you, he will likely leave you at home and go into the street and cheat on you with a hoe, a girl who isn't even doing half the things you're doing, because she makes herself a challenge, because she makes it difficult for him. She brings in mystery, drama, toxicity, all of these things that excite him. But he considers you, the good woman, to be boring. They won't tell you this though, but this is the fact about it. As a matter of fact, they will even lie about it. They'll tell you, I want a good girl, I want a good girl who's going to be my peace, a good girl who can raise a home. Yes, most of them will even get married to a good girl, but they'll cheat on this good girl with a hoe. They'll cheat on this good girl with a mean, toxic woman, a narcissistic, selfish woman who doesn't really give a shit about them, a woman who puts herself first. That if this guy has low self-esteem and self-hate, he is going to be attracted to a woman who is going to trigger all of these things. A woman who triggers his low self-esteem, a woman who triggers the self-hate he already has on himself. He is going to go after that type of a woman. And there is no amount of love that you're going to give this type of man that will make him love you. This guy has to do deep healing in order to love you. There is no amount of love that you're going to give to a guy who already hates himself to love you. If this guy hates himself, he's not going to be able to love you. A guy cannot give you what he doesn't have. If he doesn't have love, he cannot give it to you. So there are a lot of them who have low self-esteem and self-hate, and they will go after women who are going to trigger all of these emotions back on them. That is why he will go after a girl who is mean to him, a girl who will hurt him and treat him like shit. They love women who treat them like shit. You will see a guy dating a girl who cheats on him. She sleeps with his best friend. She's done horrible things to him, but he is still in that relationship. A girl who is toxic. They will stick with that girl. They'll do everything for her, spoil her, do everything to win her over. But you, the good girl who makes it easy for them, no, you're not what they want. They want the one who is toxic. So they will go after her because she triggers his insecurities. He's narcissistic. You cannot expect a narcissistic guy to treat you right. This guy wants to break you. He wants you to be the lowest version of yourself. He wants you to have low self-confidence, low self-esteem, and he wants you to be insecure. So he's going to do everything to destroy you. He wants you to be broken. And breaking you is the easiest way in which he can control you. Actually, narcissistic men are very insecure and they have so much self-shame, self-hate and self-shame. That's a deep sense of shame that they have. And a narcissistic guy wants you to feel the very same way he's feeling. He wants you to have complex, he wants you to have self-shame, And this is why this guy wants to break you, because breaking you makes him feel powerful. Breaking you makes him feel like he's the man. Breaking you makes him feel like he's in control, because that is what they crave. They crave validation, they crave control. He wants to make you feel like the lowest version of yourself, so that the only person you're going to rely on is on him. He wants to isolate you from your friends and family and make you feel small, so that he can manipulate you and turn you into a puppet and break you so badly that when he is done, you're never going to be able to recover. This is what a narcissist wants to do. So what I want you guys to understand is, a narcissistic guy will treat you deliberately like trash. You may be so beautiful, so intelligent, so independent, so hardworking. You can be a high value woman, a woman who every man will die to be with. But because you're with a narcissistic guy, this guy will want you to feel so small, and he will treat you like trash, regardless of the value you bring to the table, regardless of the fact that you're a high value woman. They like to even go after women who have value. They want to go after high value women because they get pleasure breaking you down, because he's toxic. This guy hates women. There are a lot of men who are low-key gay. They don't like women and they hate women. They have a deep sense of hate towards women. They are secretly jealous of you, so they want to make you feel like you're nothing. They want to humble you. Any guy who is looking for ways to humble you, to treat you like shit, to make you feel small and insecure, it is because this guy hates women. You cannot expect a guy who is fighting with his sexuality, hiding the fact that he's gay from the world, and pretending to be in a relationship with a girl to treat you right. This guy is in a relationship with you because he's just hiding his sexuality. It's not even because he loves women. He hates women and he likes to bring women down. He basically gets pleasure bringing women down. So this type of man can never treat you right. As a matter of fact, he's going to treat you like shit. And one thing I want you to know is, every woman who has come into his life, he's going to treat this woman the very same way. You need to be very careful with the type of men you associate yourself with. There are a lot of these men who, the pattern of each relationship they have had, they always treat the women they are with like trash. They treat these women like nothing. They break these women, they use these women, they play these women, they manipulate these women. If a guy has a reputation of using women and dumping women or playing women, manipulating women and bragging about it, this guy secretly hates women and he is secretly gay. Whether we want to admit it or not, men care so much about what other men think of them. There are a lot of men who take decisions because they want to please their friends, even at the detriment of their own happiness. There are a lot of men who are dating women today just because their friends consider these women to be the prize, to be desirable. Their homeboys find this woman attractive. Maybe his homeboys have chased this woman and they consider this woman to be hard to get. So he wants to go after this woman to prove to his homeboys that he finally got her, just to boast his ego, just to show that he is the man. A lot of men have broken up with their partners, their wives, their girlfriends, because they were listening to jealous friends. They were working under the influence of their friends. If you're dating a guy who is seeking validation from friends and seeking approval from his homeboys, he's going to take decisions that will make his homeboys happy. And the decisions he's going to take is going to be based on what his homeboys like. So if this guy is dating you and you're a good girl and his homeboys don't like you for whatsoever reason, he's going to dump you and choose any girl his homeboys will want him to be with, because he is seeking validation from friends. I had a male friend of mine. He was in a relationship with a good girl. All his friends, they couldn't even brag of having a girlfriend like her. But guess what? The minute he started making money, having some few coins, and because his friends were jealous of his relationship with this girl, he couldn't have a girlfriend like his girlfriend. They plotted to ruin his relationship, and they went on to advise him to dump her and be with a girl who was mean, selfish, and narcissistic. And this is where he made the biggest mistake of his life. He ended up dumping a good woman because he was seeking validation from friends. Since he had inferiority complex, he wanted validation from his friends, he wanted approval from his friends. He dumped the only woman who was willing to stand by him when he had nothing. He abandoned a good girl who stood by him when he had nothing to go after a mean, narcissistic, selfish woman, just because his friends wanted him to. Just because his friends manipulated him to end his relationship with this girl, and just because his friends were jealous and he didn't know they were jealous, they made a fool out of him. So if you're dating a guy, this type of man who lives for the validation of friends, who wants to do things to please his friends at the detriment of your own happiness. He's going to leave you for her because he's listening to jealous friends who want to ruin his relationship, and these friends were doing everything to spoil the image of this good girl to him. They kept telling him, oh, she's not classy, she's not elegant, she's not up to standard, she's boring, she doesn't dress well, she doesn't look good, she's not a baddie. They bring up all of these excuses, talking about she's not beautiful enough, this other girl is beautiful, this other girl is rich, this other girl is this, bringing up all kinds of reasons to make him abandon his good girl, failing to understand that a good woman is hard to find. It has nothing to do with looks, but everything to do with character. And he was stupid enough to fall for the tricks and the manipulations of his friends, dumped his good girl, and went for a mean, selfish, narcissistic woman who is his karma. So at the end of the day, this is another reason why a guy will dump you and go after another woman, because he's seeking validation from jealous friends who want to ruin your relationship. Men care so much about what their friends say about their girlfriends. A man will date you based on what his friends think about you. He may not even like you, but just because you're beautiful and he knows a lot of his friends will be chasing you, running after you and hyping you, this guy will go after you because his friends consider you to be the prize, even if he doesn't love you. Most at times he will leave you for another girl who his friends consider to be the prize, even if he doesn't really love this girl. He's seeking validation from friends, and that's not the type of man you want to be with. You want a man who has a mind of his own. You don't want a man who is controlled by friends, toasted left and right by friends, who listens from friends before he determines which girl to date. That's not the type of man you want. You want a man who knows what he wants, a man who is intentional, who can take decisions with his own mind. Ironically, most of his friends advising him to dump his good girlfriend went behind his back, asking his girlfriend to be with them because they knew she was a good woman, but he didn't see her value, he didn't see her worth. And this is what I want you guys to understand. It doesn't matter if you're a good woman. If this guy doesn't see you as a wife, if he doesn't see your value or your worth, you are wasting your time. He's going to use you. His friends could see her worth, but he couldn't see her worth, and they advised him to go after this mean girl, and he let go of her and went after this mean girl who ended up playing him. So besties, we've come to the end of this amazing video. I hope you love this video and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Drop your thoughts in the comment section, share your experiences as well. I'm dying to see them. Add more points so others can read and learn, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye, love you.